Hi, Zach Thompson here with another Friday photo tip. If you're like me and like to spend a lot of time during the summer hiking in the woods with your family, you'll know that light can be very challenging when you're in the shadows and in the sun and there's a lot of spottiness all around. You have to kind of plan for what you're going to do with the light in order to be ready for the different sort of shooting situations that can arise. One thing I like to do is take some test shots with my hand in the frame as just kind of a way to gauge the different exposures. And then if I can kind of keep in mind what those are as I move through, I can switch my camera back and forth and be ready for whichever lighting situation I should happen to be in. One thing you can do is plan to shoot in the direct sun, which has the really cool effect of making all the shadows of the forest kind of fall very dark and really highlights what's in the frame. Another thing you can do is to set your exposure for the shadows and try to keep the super bright sunlight coming through out as much as you can. When you can get into a very shady spot, this can provide for some very even tones and the colors look really good. When I'm with my kids, I like to let them just do their own thing and I don't pose them or ask them to do anything specific for me. So what I'll do is watch where they're headed or where they're going, and if maybe there's a nice bright sunny spot coming up, I'll plant myself near that spot and set the exposure and be ready for them to move into the frame and react to what they do. Another piece of advice I'd have for this type of shooting situation is to underexpose your photos. So go ahead and err on the side of making your photos a little bit too dark, because it's a lot easier to bring photos up from the darkness than to try to bring them back down when they're too bright. Very quickly you'll see that the areas that have direct sun can become way too bright and you completely lose the detail in those highlights. So when you're out hiking this weekend, give these tips a try and use hashtag ZDP Photo Challenge with the results. I'd love to check them out. I'll share them in my stories and leave comments. And if you have any questions, be sure to leave them here. I'm happy to answer them and help everybody. Thanks for stopping by. Keep it real.